What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Vodinh Poker Vlogs. We're back here at 52 Social Poker. Today's a bit different. Well, I don't know if it's different, but a bit more special. Suited Superman came down from Cali. He's going to be doing a meetup game, Texas circuit thing with Poker Traveler, Cedric Trevino, and Fireman Scott, Dulaney. If you know them, Fireman Scott does a lot of PLO vlogs. He hasn't been posting so much more recently, but he still posts pretty frequently on TikTok and Instagram. If you love PLO action, he's the person to follow. Mr. Poker Traveler is from San Antonio. He posts a lot of high stakes, big game poker action. It's a really cool insight into the Texas scene and what Texas plays like. He'll be here as well. And then Suited Superman's also a poker blogger from Cali. He also posts a lot of content for poker lifestyle, poker everything. So if you go ahead and follow those guys on Instagram, it'd be awesome. They're here for a meetup game, doing a circuit today at 52 Social. They're going to go ahead and go to another Houston club tomorrow, I think, and then Austin. Not sure what the schedule is like, but they're here today for 52 Social meetup game. I'm going to be playing 1-3 Hold'em, match the stack. They're going to be doing their own meetup game, I think, round of each. I'm not a PLO player. I don't have the bankroll for the variants, but I'll be there. I'll have a shout out for them, and I'll see them inside. Let's get into the vlog.
All right, to get this session started off, we are in the 1-3 match the stack Hold'em game. We buy into the game for $500. We are on the button straddle with 7-8 offsuit. Under the gun +1 hijack, all call to $6. The cutoff makes it $20. We have a call here to defend our button. The under the gun +1 and hijack also all call. We go 5 ways to flop, which comes 6-3 deuce. It checks around, the cutoff doesn't make a move, and there's no reason for us to bet with basically zero equity, so we decide to check. The turn gives us the 5 of hearts. Now we're open-ended to the 9 or 4. Pretty good card for us. Under the gun +1, check it. Hijack bets $35, the cutoff folds. We have a clear-cut call here. Under the gun and under the gun +1 fold. So we go heads up to a river, which comes the 10 of diamonds, so we miss our open-ended. When the hijack checks on the river, we're going to make a thin bluff value bet. We bet $40. It's going to accomplish whatever we want in a bluff, to where we don't need to bet too big to get this bluff through. If he has some value hand, he'll probably call light. If he has nothing at all, he's going to fold. So we bet $40, and the hijack does, as expected, fold. And we take down a pretty decent pot for our first hand. In this next hand, we're on the button with 3-4 of diamonds. The villain in this hand is going to be a dealer friend at 52 Social Poker. The under the gun +1, cutoff, myself, small blind, limp. The big blind checks his option. We go 5 ways to flop, which comes 8-7 deuce, 2 diamonds and a heart. So we flop a diamond draw. Small blind, big blind, check it. Under the gun +1 bets $10. Cutoff folds. We're not going to go anywhere for $10 with the diamond draw. So we do in fact call. Small blind, big blind fold. We go heads up to a turn, which comes the 6 of diamonds. So now we have a flush, and we have the redraw to the straight flush, 5 of diamonds. The +1 checks it. I don't think I'm going to get any value with the diamond being here, so I'm going to play it sneaky, and I check it. River comes a 9 of hearts, which isn't too great, because now the 10 or 5 make a straight. The 10 and the 5 make a straight. The under the gun +1 checks. I bet super small thin for $20 into 35, and the under the gun +1 folds. Pocket 8s face up. We're happy the board didn't pair, at least. Kind of bad river for us to get value from, but we'll take a win. In this hand, we're on the big blind with king, queen of hearts. The under the gun, the +1, and the low jack, the button, the small blind all limp it. We're not going to let them see a flop with this premium for cheap. We're going to raise it up to $28. The under the gun, low jack, button, small blind all call, and only the +1 fold. So not what we were expecting, but the flop comes ace, jack, 3, 2 hearts and a diamond, so we flop gutter to the nut flush draw as well. So the small blind checks it. We bet 100 into 140, looking to just take it down or get raised all in and just race it with other players. Under the gun does in fact go all in for 250 effective. It folds around to us. We have a clear-cut call in this spot. We decide to run it twice. The board comes out 4 diamond, 7 of spades on the first run out, 3 of hearts, queen of diamonds on the bottom run out. Our friend Reza, who's a tournament killer, shows us 5 deuce of hearts. So he turns the gutter ball on the top, and then we have the better flush draw on the bottom. So we end up chopping the pot.
Pretty decent pot to chop up given the pre-flop action, so we're not too unhappy about it. Nice hand reza. In this hand, we're on the button straddle with king 6 spades. Small blind, big blind, hijack, limp to us. We obviously have an easy check for $6 here. We're not going to bloat the pot with a weak king, even if it is suited. Flop comes pretty decent for us. It's 6, deuce, 4, 2 hearts, and a club. Small blind checks it. Big blind bets $30 and 24. The hijack calls. I think we have a price to see a turn at this point, so we do in fact call. We have top pair with a pretty strong kicker, so let's see what happens. Small blind folds, 3 ways to the turn, which comes to 6 of diamonds. On paper, this looks like a really good card for us, but the big blind continues for $75. I'm worried in a limp pot that he might have 5-3 here, or maybe some crazy hard draw, I don't know, or a better 6, I'm not sure. But anyways, the hijack raises to $200 with only 60 behind. This is so strong. I decided to tank for a bit and decide what I could possibly be beat by. Pocket deuces, pocket fours, ace 6 of course are all already there, 5-3 as well. It's a limp straddle pot, so I decided to fold this hand. The big blind does in fact put them all in for 260, and he obviously calls with the 60 behind. The hijack shows pocket deuces, the big blind mucks his hand, the river comes to 10 of hearts, and the hijack scoops it. So good fold from us. It's kind of shitty when you're in that spot with trip sixes and that board looks pretty favorable, but it's a limp pot, what can you do? Good fold from us, pat on the back, on to the next hand. In this hand, we are in the hijack with ace-jack offsuit. The under the gun straddle is on. When it gets to us, we raise to $25, the big blind and under the gun call. So we go 3 ways to a flop, which comes ace-king X, some blank low card, but 2 diamonds in a club. It checks us, we continue to c-bet with our top pair good kicker, $40. Big blind folds and under the gun calls us. Turn comes a queen of clubs. I think we can just go into a showdown mode here, calling any bet that he possibly has. So when he checks to us, we decide to check back. Obviously, there's a lot of scare cards for us on the river, diamonds, clubs, but I decided to play the more passive route here and decide to check it. The river comes to 10 of diamonds, so the front door diamonds did get there. The undergun decides to lead out for $85. I decide to just make a snap crying call. If he has the diamonds, he has it. I do in fact call with my Broadway straight, and the undergun mucks it. So we're happy to take down the pot. Not sure what he was betting with, but a win's a win. So after this hand, our buddy Cedric, otherwise known as Poker Traveler, shows up to 52 Social with Suited Superman Fireman Scott. He asked us if we want to play in their meetup game. I'm not sure I want to play PLO so much, but he talks us into playing because they only play 1 hand of Omaha per orbit and 1 bomb pot, so he talks me into it. I hop on over to their table. First hand, we have ace-jack offsuit in the big blind. Cutoff makes it $15. Cedric calls in small blind on my right. I make the 3-bet to $45 with a strong ace. Cutoff and small blind call. Flop comes ace, deuce, 5, rainbow. Pretty good flop for us, so when Cedric checks to us, we continue for 70 into 135, and both players fold. Good flop to start the session off. This later becomes a round of each game and a much deeper 1-3 game than we expect, but we're in for the ride. We're looking to have fun with the guys and play some poker. Now, this wouldn't be a Vodinh poker vlog if I wasn't playing the 5 deuce offsuit at 52 Social Poker. Gotta play one for the house. Under the gun limps it. Low jack makes it $15. Button calls. I myself obviously make the $15 call with 5 deuce off. Big blind and under the gun call. So we go 5 ways to a flop, which comes 6, 4, 3, 2 diamonds and a spade. So we just flopped the second nuts, deuce to 6 straight. Myself, the big blind, under the gun, check it. We're going to trap, obviously. Low jack continues for $50. I decide to check raise in the spot with the diamond draw being out there and people left behind to act. So I check raise to 120. Big blind folds, under the gun tanks for a bit before making his call. The low jack calls the extra $70, so we go 3 ways to the turn, which comes the ace of spades. So now there's 2 flush draws on the board. Our hand does not change. Now we have a 6 card straight. I'm going to decide to lead out and take down this pot or just get the money in. The low jack has a lot of money behind, covers us for sure. I think we're about 1,200 effective at this point. The low jack, sorry,
The under the gun covers us. Low jack is the one that has around 700 effective. I'm looking to just get the money in or take down the dead money in the pot. The pot's 435. I decide to make a pot size bet of $400. Under the gun ends up folding. Low jack tanks for a while before ultimately deciding on a fold. That player over there is Tommy Venus. He is a very well-known player at our club. He's a legend in his own right. I will put his Hendon Mob stats up here on the top right, so you can just look for yourself. He's one of the best poker players I know, played with the greats, Doyle Brunson, Johnny Chan. He's been playing for a long time, and he has all my respect, of course, and he said he folded a set of sixes, so for him to fold something so strong is kind of crazy to me. I don't know if that's an exploitable fold in the long run, but hats off to him if he did fold pocket sixes in that spot. Tommy, you're a legend.
No problem. I know, Tommy. You're good. I show 52 social.
Showdown. 52 social.
In this next hand, we have ace jack of diamonds in the cutoff. Our buddy Cedric in the hijack makes it $20. We elect to call here instead of 3-betting because he covers us by so much more. So we don't want to play a huge pot against him or a bloated pot. So we just elect to call. Small blind also calls. Flop comes 10-6 deuce, rainbow, 1 diamond. Small blind checks it. Cedric continues for $35. I think we have a clear-cut call here with our 2 overs and backdoor diamond draw, so we elect to call and reevaluate a turn. Small blind folds. Heads up to turn of 6 of hearts. When he checks it to us, we don't have any equity to be barreling, so we decide to check it back. The river brings the ace of hearts, so we're probably good now. He checks it to us. We go for thin value for $40, and he folds.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Salute, motherfuckers. 5. My table's.
So, in that last video clip, you can tell we're having fun here. This next hand is a bomb pot. We have 10-8 offsuit in this bomb pot. The flop comes 10-10 deuce. Cedric decides to just jam it all in, and he basically covers everyone. He puts everyone in a super tough spot. He clearly has one of the boards locked up. We obviously don't know which one. It's not worth risking our entire stack here, so we elect to fold. He's kind enough to show the vlog the pocket deuces. He flopped the boat on the 10-10 deuce board, so he would have been dead. We most likely would have lost the bottom board too with just 10 high and with him having the pair, so he would have stacked us completely. It's a super strong way to play bomb pots. You know you have one board locked up and you're applying pressure to anyone that could be thinking about it, so it's a good way to take down all that $80 dead money and just take down the pot. In this hand, we're in the big blind with ace deuce offsuit. The undergun +1 limps it. Hijack being Tommy Venus makes it $15. Small blind folds. We make the call, and the undergun +1 calls as well. Flop comes 4, 4, 5, 2 diamonds and heart. So we have backdoor diamonds to our ace, and we have the gutter ball to the 3. The undergun +1 checks it. After I check it, Tommy continues for $30. I make the call with everything that I said before, and the +1 folds. So we go heads up to a turn, which is the 5 of hearts. Now we have 4s and 5s with the ace kicker, so I think we just have showdown value at this point. I check it, Tommy checks it. River's a 7 of spades, not changing anything on the turn. So I check it, he checks it. I show ace high, and he shows us pocket jacks. Nice hand, sir. This hand we have king queen offsuit on the button straddle. The cutoff being Cedric makes it $30 when it folds to him. We call here with a strong holding. Flop comes pretty good for us. It's queen 10-6, 2 diamonds and a heart. We have top pair with a king kicker. Cedric continues for 50 into 64. We have an easy call here. Our hand is under-repped on the button straddle. We could have any 2 cards. The turn brings a 10 of hearts. Shouldn't change too much. I'm not sure he should have too many 10s in his range aside from ace 10. He continues for 175 into 164. So there is a diamond and heart draws on there. I don't think we should raise here because we could either be just drawing dead or getting it in with him, which is what we do not want to do. So we elect to just flat and reevaluate a river. The river brings a 5 of diamonds, so the front door flush draw gets there. He basically puts us all in, putting out a bet of around 1K. We have nothing to do here but fold on that overbet. If we got bluffed, we got bluffed. He says the diamonds helped him, but we will never know. Nice hand, Cedric. This hand we have ace 10 of diamonds. Where was this our last hand? We would have had the nut flush against Cedric. Anyways, we're in the hijack with this hand. The +1 makes it $6. Low jack calls. We pop it up to $35 with such a premium, beautiful looking hand. Under the gun +1 does in fact call, and low jack folds. So we go heads up to a flop, which comes queen 8-5. There's one diamond on the board. Under the gun +1 checks it to us. We continue for $45. The +1 does in fact call. The turn brings a jack of spades, so now we're double gutted to the king or 9. Pretty good turn for us. When he checks to us, we decide to just realize our equity. We could obviously barrel here, but we don't want to get pushed off our equity, and we want to see a river. So we do check. The river brings a 7 of spades. When he checks a third time, I feel like this is just too weak for him to be checking 3 streets and giving us the action. So I do in fact decide to bet $100. We're not going to win with ace high unless we're bluffing. So we bet 100 into 170, and the undergun +1 folds. We are happy to take down a bluffed hand.
You can stop that guy. You can stop that.
Open that up to the same one.
Probably. No, you're gonna scoop me out 7 deuce.
No, it's more than that.
You know, if we play the 5 deuce offsuit in Hold'em, we're going to have to play the 5-5 deuce offsuit in PLO. It goes 5 ways pre-flop, $15 to a flop which has a 5 on it. Obviously, we're going to lead out with our set of 5s, $45, and we take it down. 5 deuce, baby.
Ah, you don't have any of that.
Not some of them.
No, you don't.
They don't believe those guys are good idea.
I feel like we just keep finding ourselves in hands against Cedric. In this hand, we have the pocket 4s in the big blind. Under the gun straddle is on. 3 people call the $6. We don't want people coming in for cheap. We're going to try to take down all the dead money pre-flop. We decide to bet $40 with our pocket 4s. Only Cedric, of course, calls us. Flop comes 3, 5, 8, 2 hearts and diamond. It's a pretty good flop for us. This shouldn't have hit his range too much, pre-flop calling range. So when he checks to us, we bet big 70 to 98, and he decides to fold and just give us the money.
I hate those nights where I forget like what I bought in, because I usually track it. But like I think I forgot one buy-in today. So I have to count all my money.
What's up, guys? It's Vodinh Poker Vlogs. We got Poker Traveler, Suited Superman, and Fireman Scott's over there.
He died.
I'll post their handles in the bottom. You guys follow them. They post amazing poker content. Yeah. As of right now, when it's gonna be?
What would I do? Sonny, how many times do you run it? Oh, once. I only run it once. Are you serious? Yeah. I have too much money to run it once. Okay. My rule is.
So before we get into this big slick suited hand, I just wanted to say before, literally the immediate hand previous, we had 7 deuce off and we ran a huge bluff. We 3-bet to 120 and then continued on the board for, I think it was 170, and then we showed the 7 deuce. So the table knows that we are going to be playing stupid. Anyways, in this immediate next hand, we have big slick of diamonds in the low jack. The button straddle is on. Big blind makes it $28. The +1 calls. I decide to 3-bet with a premium holding to 120. Big blind calls and the +1 folds. Flop comes ace, 8, 6, 2 spades and a heart. The +1 checks to us. We bet 150. The +1 jams for 441 effective. We have a call here underrepresenting our hand, and after showing the 7 deuce, he could be a non-believer. Obviously, he has ace 9 of spades. We decide to run twice. And the first board comes 7 clubs, 4 spades. Second board comes 9 of clubs, 5 of clubs. So he scoops the pot from us, being a non-believer, and we lose a pretty big one. I forgot to mention we're stuck about $800 at this point because we lost a pretty big double board PLO mom pot for around $400. Anyways, in this next hand, we're in the big blind with ace-jack offsuit. The $24 straddle is on, which means 1, 3, 6, 12, 24 is being played right now. Cutoff bet's $100. I make the call. The second straddle, being under the gun +1, makes it 275. Cutoff calls, and for that price and such a strong hand, I elect to call and evaluate a flop. I probably should be folding here with only having 550 behind, but I do stupidly make the call. Flop comes 9, 5, 10, 2 diamonds and a heart. When I see this flop, obviously I'm going to shut down, so I check. Both players are, weirdly enough, decide to check. So when the turn comes to 6 of spades, I think I can just make a move here and put maximum pressure with ace high. I like to jam $550 into 856. Suited Superman didn't even realize I was in the hand. He ends up making the fold, and then the cutoff as well tanks for a while before making the fold. So feels pretty good to take down a $850 pot with ace high. So after feeling great about my bluff, I obviously decide to do a $48 straddle when the table elects to do so. So we are playing 1, 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. Someone in early position makes it $300. So when it gets to me, I obviously have a fold, and I'll let you guys watch his hand play out. Crazy hand. So on the turn, Suited Superman bets almost $600, I believe. Josue tanks for a while before making his fold of pocket eights. And Cedric obviously folds. I don't remember what he had. He needed a gut shot or something. But Suited Superman's obviously shuffling his cards and shows a jack and says he woke up with pocket jacks and flopped the top set. So nice hand, Suited Superman. Alright, so here we go with the great game of PLO. I know this is what you guys have been waiting for, obviously. It goes 6 ways to a flop with $15 pre, so $90 pot. Flop comes 8, 5, 3, 2 spades and a heart. Our hand is pocket queens with the 10 queen spades and a 3 of diamonds. So we flop bottom pair, which doesn't really matter because we have queens, and we have a flush draw to the queen. Scott bets $60. I decide to call with the queen high flush draw. A lot of PLO GTO players would probably expect a fold pre-flop and on this flop, but I, as a donkey in PLO, elect to call. We go heads up to turn, which comes the queen of diamonds, so I bink the nuts now. I have the top set. Nothing is beating me right now. When Scott bets $125 into the pot, I decide to just pot it with my flush draw and top set. He decides to make the call, so we go to a river heads up of the 8 of spades. So our flush draw gets there, but better than that, we have the queen full of 8 boat now. Scott immediately jams all in, and we obviously have a snap call. He's covering us. Our queens full of 8s are good in this spot, and we take it down. I just want to take this time to plug Fireman Scott. He's one of the coolest players and down-to-earth players. In his vlogs, some people might think of him coming off as arrogant, but he's just a really goofy guy and a really humble guy. He's super down to earth and one of the kindest people I have ever met. Not many people will fist bump you and say nice hand after taking down a almost $3,000 pot, and he was so cool about it. He's one of the nicest guys I know. I really want you guys to follow him and check out his PLO content. He's definitely an amazing guy, and yeah, shout out to you, Scott.
636.
136 now. 36. Nice hand.
Thank you. I had to do it to you, Fireman. I'm sorry.
Nearing the end of our session, of course we have to get another hand with Cedric. Oh boy, we have ace-queen offsuit under the gun. We open for $20 with a premium. The low jack calls, and Cedric makes it 115 in the big blind. We elect to call here and go heads up when the low jack folds to a flop, which comes bricks. I don't remember what the 3 cards were, but they were super low cards, and they shouldn't have hit either of our ranges. Maybe Cedric's, because he's in the big blind and because he plays almost every 2 cards. But yeah, so he does in fact check to us, so when I think he gives up the betting league, we just take it down with a pretty sizable bet. We elect to bet 340 into $250 pot. Clearly an overbet. If he has overcards or pocket pairs, he's obviously going to call us and we can shut down on later streets. If not, we just take it down here. He shows us ace king and fold. I don't remember this hand too much, mainly the board, but we have Doyle Brunson in the big blind. The undergun straddle's on. The undergun straddle is our tournament director, G. Lee. Obviously, I had to put this one in because we take down a pot from him. We have a flush draw flop, turn the flush, bet the river $80, and he calls us with 9 high flush draw. He had 9-4 in the undergun straddle. Just a cooler situation in the limp pot, but yeah, had to include this one.
I like my hand so much.
Do not be
What do you have, Sonny?
This was my perfect opportunity to get as much money as I can in being stuck. So I'm gonna jam it as hard as I can.
I need one of these
and
guys.
pray
Do you
for
want me to
them.
run it twice so that only one person loses?
Sure, whatever y'all want.
I'll do that if y'all want.
I'm ripping.
Okay,
Red
that's fine.
stick. I got 4 and
So just 13 more?
no, he has 412 and
I have
he has
412.
You have 4 more.
Yeah.
Okay.
425 more.
You got a lot more money than I thought, Scott.
I didn't think you had that much. Man, yes.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
No, I did not.
As you can see, it was a super fun session, super action-packed. Go ahead and follow these guys. It would mean a lot to me and them.
It is 11:15, so we played for 5 hours. I think that's like an hour more than we wanted to. It's also, we were playing in round of each, which is what we weren't expecting, but it was a pretty big game, pretty fun game. Shout out to Fireman Scott, Mr. Poker Traveler, and Suited Superman. They're all cool people. Like I said, I'm going to have the links for their handles below in the comments and everything, or in the description. Great people. This vlog was a fun one. We were into the game for 1,450 with all the tip chips and everything, out of the game for 28.30, 28.40. I don't remember, but it'll be in the video. So yep, fun session. Follow those guys if you haven't. They're awesome people. They post amazing content. And until the next one, guys, peace.